Today I'm really excited to announce that I have a new PDF sewing pattern in my shop. It's called the Jodi Knit Pants, and I designed these pants with the idea of having something that was both comfortable and sophisticated. So we have the comfort from the knit fabric, and then the wide leg and the angled pockets are really more of that elevated, sophisticated style. This pattern is designed with a medium rise and what I'm calling a skim fit, so just 1 inch of negative ease through the hips. So it's a little fitted, but not really form fitting. I rated it as an advanced beginner level, and the sizes go up to 62-inch hip circumference. The pattern is designed for a medium weight knit fabric such as French terry or pant aroma, and I recommend that you have about 30% stretch in the cross grain. If you don't know how to measure the stretch in your fabric, I have a video up here or in the show notes that you can watch and learn how. Over on the blog, I've already started the sew along, and I have a lot of posts from the archive that would help you with this pattern. And I have 2 new posts, one with style inspiration and the other about fabric, supplies, and notions that I recommend for sewing this pattern with success. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to measure yourself, how to select your size, some common pattern adjustments, and some details that I think you should be aware of with the pattern pieces. Let's get started. Let's start by taking a look at the size chart. At the top, we have body measurements, waist and hip, and this lists in inches first and then centimeters below in parentheses. Then we have our finished garment measurements. We have the mid-rise waist, the hip, and the front crotch depth. And this front crotch depth is measured straight down from the top of the waistband to the bottom of the crotch. And this is the measurement of the pants, not of your body. The most important measurement is going to be your hip measurement, and I generally recommend selecting your size based on this measurement. Then take a look at these other numbers and decide if you want to make any adjustments. Now let's look at how to take your own measurements. To measure yourself, I recommend just wearing your underwear. I'm wearing something a little tighter today for demonstration. And then you need a flexible measuring tape. So in the pattern, you'll select your size based on waist and hip, and the most important measurement is the hip. And so to do that, you just want to take your measuring tape and put it around the fullest part of your hip, and then also measure your waist. It might be helpful for you to identify where you want the top of your pants to be, and you can do that with a piece of elastic. Just tie it around. This is a little bit lower than my natural waist and about where I want the top of my pants to sit. Wherever I put this waist, I want to measure this length and write that down as my mid-waist measurement and compare that with the finished measurement chart. Then I also want to look at the front crotch depth, and that is going to be from the top of the waistband down to the bottom of the crotch. And there is a chart on page 3 again with that front crotch depth. So make sure that you like that and decide if you want to add or subtract any length from the rise. Now that you have taken your measurement, let's take a look at them in comparison to the size chart. So I just made up some numbers here with a waist of 39, hip of 51, and then mid-waist, which remember is where we want the pants to sit between the natural waist and the hips. And I'm saying that's 44 inches. And then I want a front crotch depth of 9 inches. So I want to go over and look at my body measurement chart first and see where my waist and hips fit into the chart. So at 39, I'm between sizes here. And at 51, I'm between sizes J and K. So for this pattern, I recommend going down a size unless you want a looser fit. In that case, you could cut in between a J and K or cut a K. But for most of my testers, they prefer to go down a size and have a closer fit. So I would select size J, and then we can go and look at our finished measurements in this J column and see if those are what we want. Now, fortunately, our 44-inch mid-waist works. If our waist is a little bit bigger than 44 inches, our fabric will stretch, but you'll want to check and make sure that you have enough stretch, and maybe consider grading up a size, like especially if your mid-waist is like 48 inches or bigger, you might want to grade up to a bigger size for that waist. If your measurement is lower than the finished mid-rise, then you'll be able to fit with elastic, but it won't look as smooth. So in that case, you might want to grade down in the waist. Just depends what look you're going for and how far away you are from this finished measurement. Next, our finished hip is 49 inches. So that's going to give us 2 inches of negative ease. So you could double check your fabric stretch, make sure it'll work. And then finally, let's look at the crotch depth. Ideally, I want my crotch depth to be 9 inches, but as directed, it's 10.8. So we can take the difference, and I want to decrease the rise by 1.8 inches. All right, let's take a look at our pattern pieces. I have shrunk these down so that they are easier to handle and look at. And I've added a little bit of color to the notches and different lines that I want to call out. So we have 6 pattern pieces: the back, front, the pocket lining, and a front and back waistband. So each of them have a grain line, which I have put in green here. And then the front and back pattern pieces also have lengthen shorten lines at the rise and in the pant leg. And that's where you will cut if you want to change the length. All right, now let's look at the notches. The notches are going to help us line everything up with our pattern. In the middle of the pants, on the front and the back, there are notches on each side, and these are at the knee placement point. Then higher up on the side, we have 1 notch, and these will go together, and you'll also find them on the pocket pieces. The center back, we have 2 notches, so when you sew this curve, you'll match up those 2. And then the center front, we have 1 notch. We also have notches in the waistband. So if we look at these here, there is a notch at the center front and center back, and then a notch in the front waistband that will align with this point in the front waistband and in the pockets. So speaking of pockets, let's zoom in on this. And when these are sewn together, they are going to be layered up with the front pattern piece on top, then the lining, and we have 3 notches that are all lined up here, and then the pocket underneath. So you can see how all of these notches line up, and then even the waistband comes in and lines up. So when they're all sewn together, they're just like this, and you see a little bit of that pocket right here. If your fabric is particularly thick, you can cut this lining piece out of a coordinating fabric that is a little bit lighter in weight. Now let's talk about some common pattern adjustments. This pattern is drafted for a taller height of 5'10", so you may want to shorten or lengthen, if you're taller, the pant length. And you can do that either in the leg or in the rise. So if you're going to change the rise of the pant, you can cut along this line and then spread them apart or put them closer together. And then you can use this line to change the length of the pant. And if you're going to change the length by a significant amount, I recommend adding another line up here that is perpendicular to the grain line. And then you just cut straight across and you can distribute that length change between the 2 points. For more details, I have 2 videos about this topic, one about the rise and one about the leg length, and I'll link to those in the show notes. Another less common adjustment, and this is more of a style adjustment, is if you want to change the width of the pant leg. You're going to want to draw in the center line. And so what you want to do is get a ruler and measure in between these 2 knee points and find the center between those 2 knees. It's right here. It's not exactly where the grain line is, just because of sizing. just draw a line for that center point. And actually, we could draw in a line here between our knees. And then whatever you do, whether you want to taper it more or widen the pant leg, you want to do the same amount. So if you're going to taper it, you would put in mark the same amount on each side and do that at the hem as well. This will make sure that the pants still hang nicely, even though you've changed the width of the leg. So here I'm just roughing this in right now. So if you wanted a more tapered leg, that's how you would do that. And you would do the same for a wider leg if you want to really exaggerate this, because this is not a super wide leg. If you want to exaggerate it, just make sure that you're adjusting the same amount at the ankle and at the knee. Now here's an example for grading between two sizes. I'm going to use a smaller size for the hips and the larger size for the waist. And then I'm going to use the larger size for the waistband and for the pocket. So I'm not going to be using this smaller size for the pockets or the waistband, and that'll just make things easier. I'll only grade my front and back pieces. So you would want to do this kind of adjustment if you have a larger mid-waist than is at the hip size. So we'll start here right around this notch and then just draw a line to blend from the smaller size to the larger size. And we'll do the same at the center back. And then at the center front, again, we will blend. So we are using smaller size on the bottom, larger size on the top, and we're keeping that pocket and waistband the larger size. And then down here, we will gradate into the smaller size. So this is a rather crude drawing, but I think you can get the idea. You would cut along this red line, cutting the smaller size for the hips and the pant leg, and then the larger size at the waist, and then using this larger size for your waistband and pockets. Well, I hope that you enjoyed today's post and that it was helpful for you. Next up in the sew along, we're going to be constructing the pants, and I'm going to have it all on video for you. It's going to be in two parts. In the first part, we're going to construct the pockets and the legs, and then in the sides. And then in the second part, we'll construct the waistband, attach it to the pant legs, and hem the pants. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, and if you want to stay up to date on future videos, make sure to subscribe. Happy sewing!